Hi, this is Jackie.
This is Diana.
And you're listening to Homebodies Only, where we welcome all bodies to join us as we dissect and break down HBO series. And we are breaking down, and just like that, episode 3, When in Rome.
I think this episode should be called All About the Belts.
All about the belts.
There's so many belts in this episode. I counted a lot of belts.
But yeah. Like all of them are wearing a lot of belts.
There's so many belts.
Yes. I love
belts
it.
Are back, people.
All about the belts.
When in Rome with a belt. All right.
There you go.
Keep it moving.
Okay. Starts off, we're watching the recording of the podcast. A lot fancier than ours. And Bobby is talking about a stalker that he has. And she's freaking his mom out. And he's like, it's because I'm so hot. And Che says, yeah, I want to ride you like a mother effing city bike.
Mm-hmm.
And I did want to bring this up because I went to the city recently, the day after Christmas, a little bit over a week ago. And now I lived in the city a long time ago, over 10 years ago. And oh God, even longer than that. Who am I kidding? I don't know. And I was in the city like 2019, November. I don't remember this, but I wasn't also driving around as much. City Bike.
Oh yeah.
Has these motorized bike rentals.
Yes.
All over the city.
All over the place. All over.
And there's basically a bike lane.
Yeah.
The bikes are all over the place. And it wasn't like that.
Like Times Square, etc.
Yeah. You rent them, then you park them. Then, I mean, you can, and it's a whole thing now. And
Why didn't I think of that?
I know. And I didn't know that. But it's interesting because you really have to watch for the bikes now, like way worse than one time I got out of a cab and a person on a bike, not a motorized city bike because they didn't have those back then, like almost crashed into the door. The cab pulled over. I opened the door and a bike crashed into the door and he was like, I was like, I didn't, what? I didn't know.
What do you want me to do?
I didn't think to look, Yeah. Anyway, just wanted to make a note of that one. So he says, he's talking about the stalker. She won't stop calling him. And then it was funny. Carrie says maybe she wants her credit card back.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Che's all like, boom. And he says, well, she's not old enough to have a credit card.
Oh, yeah. I was like, no.
Yeah. And
please don't.
Che's like, trigger warning. You shouldn't be joking about that, especially your joke was lame.
Mm-hmm.
Then Carrie wants to go back to what Che said about a trigger because it really, the city bike was a trigger for her. And the hot producer guy again. Do you feel like she's going to date him?
There's something about that.
Because they just randomly show him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's really cute. I also wanted to, I forgot to preface this. I had texted Diana before I saw this episode and I said, I'm noticing, and I forgot to mention this when we talked about episode 2, I was really noticing some flirtation and a spark between Miranda and Che. Remember I texted you that?
Yes.
And you said you'll keep an eye out. And obviously.
Yeah.
If you saw this episode.
Yeah. When you see this episode, you're like,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you see the fascination coming on full speed ahead.
Mm-hmm. So Che compliments Carrie, which was nice because Carrie had been, I mean, even before Big passed away, she was kind of like, come on, you got to step it up.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she asked how she's doing. She said, they were really happy at the end. And Che says, isn't that even sadder though? And she says, no, it's a happy sad. That's what I'm clinging to. And I was like, oh,
I love that.
I know. That's good. And there's going to be a Netflix taping that night.
Yeah.
For her
comedy show.
For Che's comedy show.
For Che's comedy show.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
Yes.
I'm really working on that.
Me too. Me too.
I think Che, because I'm thinking of Che in the role on Grey's Anatomy. So I'm really still seeing Che as the actor from Grey's Anatomy. So
her character, sorry. Che's character
on Grey's Anatomy was a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
So I'm still transitioning.
But it's
into
it's
that.
Our thing.
Like I get it. It's an honest mistake. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. they're going to go to that taping.
Yeah.
And
so they have the comedy show.
They have the comedy show, right? I don't know if it's actually the same night. I'm confused because the outfits. So because Carrie,
I get confused as well, and I wanted to bring that up because
it wasn't that night.
No, I don't believe it was. I feel like Carrie said something about Friday. Or
that was the Friday night. Yeah.
Anyway, if you notice what she's wearing, which we are both obsessed with.
Well, to the taping,
it comes up twice in the episode on two different outfits.
Yes, she wears that twice. But I was going to say, when she's recording her podcast,
right?
I just make a note. She was wearing these high-waisted black pants and this green and black. It was green with black polka dot, almost satiny. Had poofy sleeves. Really describing this
that nobody could pull off but her.
No, and then underneath was a white sheer long sleeve with gemstone. Where is it here? What did I try to? Actually, it had silver gemstones on it on the white sheer top. Underneath the green with black dots. Yeah,
like with the yeah.
And
then her bag. Would she have a Gucci bag on that time?
Gucci chest. It was a cross chest bag, which I have a cross chest bag. It's not Gucci. Okay. Yeah. It does, and it's not even faux Gucci. It's just. It was great though.
It's like H&M.
No, it's from CCB.
No, I'm just
from CCB and Swoggity.
All right.
And it was awesome having that in the city. I will just say the chest thing because it's right there. Didn't have to worry.
I love a good belt bag.
Yeah,
in those kinds of situations.
I agree. She's also wearing pearls and these cool black heels. All right, next scene, she's with Miranda. I took a picture because now I'm taking pictures of the outfits because I can't. Yeah. It's just too much. She has on, again, it was almost like I'm going to call it a bodice, but I don't think that's right. Like the skirt came up really high, like underneath her chest kind of. And was it gingham? My picture
yes.
Gingham blue and white.
So I wrote down that it was a little Dorothy-esque.
Yes.
I love the kimono, obviously, that she paired with it. But when I saw the skirt and then I saw the picnic basket looking,
it was Dorothy.
Right? I was like,
oh
all
my
right.
Gosh.
But I loved her jewelry in this outfit.
Okay.
The necklaces, I love the layers.
She layered,
I think she had the pearls layered. And then she had like a
blue.
Like a chain thing and and then the blue.
The chain, she has a charm, if you want to call it that, of New York State. I actually thought, I was like, it looks like New Jersey. Like I was like, what is she wearing? I was like, well, it's New York State, of course. You always got an ode to New York.
And her bracelets and everything. But I was like, oh, we got the picnic basket going on. Is Toto going to jump out of the...
Yeah.
It was
It was a basket. And then the hat, she had a hat and it was tied around her. I'm going to go into the piece that you called a kimono because it's not. I was
kimono.
Obsessed with this
duster.
Thing.
What are we calling it?
It's a dress. It's actually a dress that buttons. Oh. And I was like, what a great idea to wear that type of dress as like a light jacket. Because this is clearly the summertime.
Obsessed with that.
I can go into
dress,
that
kimono duster thing.
Dress right now. It is a vintage. Oh, wait. I took another picture. And why isn't that coming up? It is a vintage Flora Kung floral button front dress. They are basically, if you want to find it, it's on eBay, but it's not there. That one's not there. There were other ones by this designer, but they were bolder, like bigger patterns. This one I loved it. And speaking of CCB, it is a store in Sorgaty's, New York, a boutique, and our friend Tiffany owns it. And I contacted her immediately. Hey, can you get some? Like, hey, did you see this? See this?
Can use this as inspiration and get us some of these.
Yeah. Come on. All right. So she's with Miranda and they're walking. Miranda looked cute too. She was wearing this like plaid, I always call it a priest collar that was in like the 90s. So maybe that's coming back. And then it had like white buttons down the arm and then a white pants that were really nice. They were kind of high-waisted and they came out a little.
High-waisted. She had her belt.
The belt. It looks like it's attached to it.
Yes, it was attached to the pants.
Or came with it. Anyway, they are walking and Miranda happened to listen to the podcast. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, yeah.
Clue number one. It's funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
You took a interest in the podcast all of a sudden. Interesting.
Yes, she does. I forgot what the mix was. She said it was a eclectic mix of something and farts.
Yeah.
I don't know. So when Carrie tells her about the Netflix taping of Che, she's like, oh, really? Like really giddy and excited. Yeah.
I get to go?
Yeah.
Super pumped about it. And I was like, we're taking a liking to Che.
Then
what is going on?
Yeah. We'll see. So then Miranda says, you seem to be a little better today. And she says she's in the trifecta of the whole, she's in the home stretch of the whole death trifecta, which is the awful night, the funeral, and now the reading of the will. So that's what they're on their way to. Not much happens. There's a quick scene. Basically, the lawyer gets a call from his wife. They're fighting. Like, wow. Okay. What was the point of that one? Was it because
what was the point of that other than to like say like?
I guess it was to get.
Why would you fight with your? Like we're at the reading of my dead husband.
Yeah.
So let's have a fight with your wife that is still alive.
Yeah.
And like you guys are still married and whatever your quarrel is about.
I guess it was to get Gloria to read it. So then Gloria, that whole thing.
Yeah, I know.
They could have done it differently. Okay. Now we're at the restaurant and Charlotte is there.
But are we going to mention who was in the will?
Well, that comes up next. This was just a quick scene because I literally take notes.
Yes.
So this was just a quick scene. He started to
fight.
They
go back to.
He gives the. So Gloria takes the will to start reading, and that's it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's
then
right.
we flash to the restaurant and
with Stanford. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So Charlotte. So I had texted Diane about this. I said Stanford looks better than ever. I think it's Will Garson. His name.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. I mean, it's sad. The whole thing is sad, but I was like, why does he look good? I was like, well, he finally looks his age. Like back when the show was on and he was how much younger, he was bald. He like looked older than he was. And now he's just like coming to his own. He looked really good.
Fabulous.
And I liked his suit and everything. I mean, he always had cool
Stanford.
Clothes. Yeah.
Yes.
So Charlotte's in I just wrote cute dress, but Stanford shows up and she asks what he's doing there.
It was
and he
great.
has the fork and knife pin. He says, I'm here for lunch.
So cute.
She's like, I've only reserved for 3. And he's like, oh, don't worry. A 3 top's always a 4 top.
And I agree.
Yeah.
Because a
3 to 4
3 top is not a 2 top. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're not setting a table for 2 and making it 3. You have to make a 4 or 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm on Stanford's side.
Yeah.
Sorry, Charlotte.
I was too. Charlotte's been really annoying me lately. So
she's really annoying in this few episodes so far.
Too. Yeah. So I just have to I had to research what he was talking about. So he mentions he used to work at the Odeon and she's like, you never were a waiter, you never waited tables. He's like, no, I was a host. How do you think I knew Bret Easton Ellis? So I looked that up. But first I wanted to mention Odeon. So I looked up Odeon. I think I went there before. If I can remember, it kind of looks like a diner, but it's cool. It's cooler than that. And I could be messing it up, but I could have sworn I've been there. Not as like a club, though. I think we ate there. Anyway, Bret Easton Ellis was the author who wrote American Psycho and also Less Than Zero, which was an 80s movie, which was made into an 80s movie. I don't know if you remember hearing about that. Of course, I'm not going to remember who the heck was in that. I think some from the Brat Pack. Remember the Brat Pack? Not the Brat Pack old school, but the 80s Brat Pack. Yeah, I think some of them were in it. I won't go into that though. Okay. So Charlotte's like annoyed because the 4 top thing. And she's like, it's hard to find a place that Carrie hadn't been to either with Big or Samantha.
Who put her in charge of the reservations anyway?
She's been too
emotional. Why didn't we put Stanford in charge of the reservations? Come on.
So then Stanford brings up, hey, you think I am not part of the inner circle, and his therapist thinks that she is threatened by him.
Yeah. Listen, we were all thinking that. So thank you, Stanford, for bringing that
to light.
Seriously.
Yeah. So she's like, you talk to me. You talk to your therapist about me? Like trying to make him feel bad. I was like, yeah, he does. All right. We're at the will reading.
Here it is.
So Gloria's reading. I won't, basically he's leaving $1 million to Natasha. What the heck? And I think the lawyer says, if there's unfinished business, you throw money at it.
Yeah.
That's what Norman says. I have Norman. That was his name, I guess.
In my experience.
So
as he's dealing with whatever conflict.
Yes.
With his wife.
Maybe he threw some money.
During a will reading.
Yeah.
So unprofessional.
Okay. So now we go to the lunch, and they are in a table. It's right
this
by
was
the
great.
kitchen. And
Love it.
The waiter keeps coming out, and the door of the kitchen keeps hitting Stanford in the back. And it's like, ow. I mean, it's like really, yeah.
I could feel it every time he got smacked.
Yeah. It was terrible. I guess they couldn't make that a 4-top. So,
yeah.
So Carrie is saying I was doing well. Wasn't I doing well? I washed my hair. I was doing the podcast. I wasn't sleeping, wasn't eating, but at least she thought she had a good marriage. And Miranda, by the way, is drinking some cab. And, I noticed.
Cheers.
Yeah. Stanford, that's when he gets hit in the back. Charlotte says she had a much better table before.
She just had to throw that in there.
Carrie is saying, I just had to write this. Carrie said she'll switch with him. She's like, I'm used to getting slammed in the back. Miranda starts to get impatient, and she tells the waiter to stop, to be more careful about slamming him with the door, and would like another glass of Cabernet.
Right. Little subtle hint.
Yeah. Carrie wants to know, what is she doing in the will? And Charlotte's like, it's only $450,000 after taxes.
Yeah, right.
That would be 500, but Charlotte knows. I thought it'd be split, but whatever.
It's usually 50.
Someday I'll know. But I'll know for sure someday. So then Miranda's like, but she got the divorce settlement. What is this like? Basically, this money is ridiculous. And Carrie's like, it's not about the money. What if he, I don't care if he gave her $10. I want to know why. And Miranda says, well, he ruined her life. And Charlotte's like, no, I saw her pre-pandemic at Bergdorf, and she didn't look like someone whose life was destroyed. Okay, I froze the scene because I was taking notes, and it went right on that black and gold bracelet. I wouldn't have noticed it, to be honest. I mean, maybe I would have, but
well, she grabs her hair on the side, so you get
So this black.
The second time I watched it, it caught my attention.
Yeah. It is, it was the second time I watched it too. It is a Rosa de la Cruz London classic. It's 18 karat gold. I think it's black gold. I mean, I don't know. I could be totally a moron here, but it is. Oh, and I was telling Diana, it's sold out. We could have gotten 10% off of $3,240.
Oh,
so we could have gotten $324 off. And I would have totally still not been able to
be in wardrobe of this show. Oh my
God. And the fact that they've kept all of these pieces like from the show, from the movie. Them. But I mean, they were in storage, like, because they've busted out these old pieces.
Right. Yeah. That too.
That's awesome.
But I imagine that the actresses and actors get to keep what they want.
Probably.
Typically, if it's in their contract.
Yeah. And I got to look into this. Patricia Fields had been doing the wardrobe for Carrie. I don't know for all of them, but previously, I know for Carrie. Right? Yeah. Now it's the two people that I had mentioned, I think, in the last, and I know Danny Santiago is one of them. And it's a woman. I'm so bad. I think it's Mary something. So there's two people doing it. They both worked under Fields before.
Right.
I just don't know. Maybe she's like retired. Patricia Fields. I don't know. Have to look into that one too. Okay. All right, Stanford gets mad, and he's like, F her, meaning Natasha, and her perfect pre-pandemic life. Carrie says, I was the one who cheated on, cheated with her husband, basically. And Charlotte's like, no, you were with him before. So really, she cheated on you, with him. Yeah. And then she says, God, you're a good friend to Charlotte. Yeah. And then Miranda is getting upset about why she wants her Cabernet and wants to know why was it a secret? Didn't even tell Gloria who to his blood type. I don't know what are some of the things that I wrote here, but Carrie is really stuck on this because there's unfinished business, and Natasha's back.
You see that.
Big's
and,
gone, Natasha's back. Yeah.
Like what's the deal here?
Yeah, and then Stanford asks if she knew they were in touch. And she's like, they were in touch? And he's like, she's like, who said they were in touch? He's like, or not. And then he gets slammed. Then he gets slammed in the back by the door, and Miranda's like, you deserve that.
He did.
That's funny. All right, so Carrie is at her apartment, and she sees Big's computer, and she's trying to figure out the password like
Did you think she was going to get in?
Yes.
Because I did think she would get in eventually.
Totally. And there's another part that I thought I totally thought she was going to get in. She can't figure out the password. She tries like 3 or 4 times. All right, now we're at Charlotte, where Charlotte's in the girl's bedroom. She's reading Rose a bedtime story. Or she's reading her story. I can't say it's like a bedtime story because it's a chapter book.
It just seemed like it was nighttime.
Yeah, it was nighttime. Thought that was really cute, and Rose was very affectionate. She was like putting her leg around her. She's like, "Oh my gosh, move over, baby girl." And then Rose says, "I don't like to be called that." And Charlotte thinks she means the baby part. Mm-hmm. She's like, "No, I mean girl." And she said she never feels like a girl, because I think Charlotte says, "Oh, sometimes I don't feel like a girl." She's like, "No, I never do." And then Charlotte falls out of the bed.
Yeah.
Like, ah. All right.
And she asks her other daughter, like, right, honey, you don't feel like a girl sometimes.
Feel like a girl.
She's like not even paying attention. She's like on her computer.
Well, she had headphones on. Did you see they were all flowers? Lily is just the girliest.
Super girly.
Super girly. Like she literally looked like she should have been in a garden. Like, just ethereal, with her. I kind of want those flowered headphones.
Those you need them because your other headphones at work are
falling apart on my face. So yes. But maybe we could get the school paid for those, so maybe they would buy me some.
Maybe they could
ones.
pay for some
flowered ones. Would be nice.
I'm sure they're not as expensive as that gold.
Probably not. Gold black bracelet. Definitely not.
Bracelet.
Definitely not. Yeah, that was another one that I sent to our friend Tiffany, and I was like, "What's going on?" Yeah, and she sent me. Yes, it's definitely definitely a trend. Well, not that one, but of course. That's not gonna happen. So we're at Miranda and Steve's apartment, and they are making like ice cream sundaes, basically. They're going to watch a movie.
Want ice cream?
Oh my god! Yeah,
I was like,
and all the toppings.
Can I go to an ice cream bar?
No, she's like,
can I make?
She's making up the tray. And
it was adorable.
Yeah, and there were chia seeds.
I love chia seeds. We do chia and hemp and all of those.
I put that in my smoothie. I haven't done that in a while, but I put it in my smoothie. I haven't put it on ice cream.
Sprinkle on everything. Yeah. It makes you feel healthy.
Yeah.
And then I eat a brownie after, but whatever.
Yeah, right.
Chocolate chip cookie. Yeah.
Oh, they are putting it on ice cream.
Yeah. But it's got antioxidants.
That's right. Come on. So there's Brady and Louisa, who I was just like, I can't stand them.
I'm sorry. Do they not appear like they're like in a college dorm?
Oh, they totally act like they're in a college dorm.
They're in high school, clearly, right? They're like 17.
Yeah.
And she clearly like lives at the place.
She seems to live there. She always
weird.
Seems like she's a little greasy or like I feel like and this is mean,
she needs to take a
shower. Like and it's her. And I'm not saying that because it's the girl or whatever. It's just, she just always looks like she just woke up or I don't know what's going on.
And why is it like their entire life is them just having relations and eating food and coming?
They're always just eating the food.
They don't go to school.
Well, I mean, it was nighttime in this scene.
I know, but every scene is the same with them. So what is the point?
I don't know. It's annoying.
I don't know.
It's annoying.
I just don't get what
they're making them annoying. Then mission accomplished. That's all I know.
It's just like background noise, right?
So of course, Louisa has to give her teenage wisdom and say like, whole milk. Well, I do agree with her on this one, but whole milk is better than low fat. It's good for aging bones. And I wrote here, I actually agree. But of course, Miranda's like, excuse me, and then he's like, I mean, we're all aging. Definition of life. And then I wrote skankhole. I'm sorry.
So
skankhole. She's skanky.
Yeah, but then I would argue we do like almond milk and stuff. So
I'm not into
more calcium. So
no. You need the full fat. Whatever. If you're a milk drinker, you need to drink whole milk.
I don't drink
cow's milk. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So cow's milk. If you're having cow's milk, you need to have whole milk. That's my 2 cents. Okay. All right.
We do 2% for the boys, but
why? No.
I don't know, actually.
You shouldn't have been doing that when they were babies?
No, we did whole milk, but currently, they're older. We do 2%. I don't know.
Why?
I think it's less.
No.
I mean, oh wait, I do drink. The only milk that I drink is skim milk in my latte. So I take that back.
I don't know what to do. I remember I said that to you. I said, what the HELL is the point of skim milk? It irritates
my stomach if it's because I think
then go have non-dairy. Do not put skim milk in coffee. That's disgusting. Might as well pour water with white dye.
Yeah, but in a latte, I'm really, because I get a double shot. So my drink at All That Java is it's a double shot latte with a tiny bit of mocha and peppermint on top. Or in the off season, it's a double shot with skim with cinnamon on top. So really, my point is, I'm doing a double shot of espresso, so the milk really just
does nothing. Actually,
exactly.
Because it's skim.
So right.
So why don't you just have it black? Okay.
There's no such thing. Then it wouldn't be a latte.
I don't know.
Then I would just have 2 shots of espresso. You tried to, coming from a woman who tried to order a latte with half and half, and I almost gagged.
Yeah.
Remember, you were like,
I'm half and half. And you were like, ew. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't make lattes. But I was like, I want full fat. Give me cream. Give me butter. People actually do put butter in their coffee. All right.
Ew,
Total tangent.
We need to move on. Sorry.
Okay. Carrie in her apartment. She finds his phone. She finds his phone. She's trying to charge it. She's trying to charge her. Then we see her later wake up. And by the way, she sleeps in her bra, which I think I remember from the show. Like,
she did that a lot.
I think it's because she really does not show, her as an actress does not show nudity. And like, obviously, if she didn't have, I just think that's interesting. Yeah. So she's starting to go through his suit jackets, trying to figure out, trying to find something, right?
Yeah.
She finds a phone number and doesn't know whose it is. My gosh.
Yeah, this is
great.
So
she calls it. By the way, she calls it from her cell phone. But then I was like, oh, I guess she can't call it from his because it's his cell phone's dead. But I was like, why would you call it from your own phone?
Mm-hmm.
And it's her home phone because no one knows their home phone number. I do have a home phone number. I know. I do know mine, but my parents call and all.
That's cute.
Yeah, I think we might have talked about.
That's cute that you have a home phone number.
Yeah, I can't let go.
Do you also have the dialer that you like spin
Yes,
around?
I do, jerk. No, I don't. Shut up.
Do you stand up against the wall and talk?
No, but my son can talk to my parents on the phone instead of talking to my cell phone.
Actually. We don't have that. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, where am I?
I have a phone cable.
I have to, when I lose my cell phone in my house and I'm home with just me and Donovan, I take my home phone and I call it and I find it. So you can't do that.
I can ping it from my watch. So
I forgot. You're so technologically. What if your watch
Anything
is
else
lost?
You want to?
What if your watch is lost?
Then I have Matt call my phone.
What if he's not home?
Okay, you know what? Then I do it the old-fashioned way.
What does that mean?
I just get on with my life.
Okay. All right. So now,
speaking of getting on,
yes, let's keep moving. This is when I found out that she was wearing a necklace of New York State, and it's $375, FYI. Little more affordable. Not that I would buy it.
Yeah, that's like because it's like 18 karat gold, but on Etsy, that's like $24.99.
Yeah, but
it's like hand stamped. It's a great gift. It turns, but hey, listen, if you're looking for a knockoff, hit them up.
Yeah. Okay. So then she goes into Big's wallet. And she pulls out like his vaccination card, his license.
That was a great touch.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's familiar. The Metro card. Then she pulls out a picture of this dog. She's like,
random.
What? And it's Gogi. And it says 65 on the back. She looks very confused and perplexed about the dog. I thought she was going to try that as a password. That's what I thought that whole point was. Like, she looks to the side. I'm like, go try that for the password. No.
Gogi 85 or 65.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're at the Hot Fella's bread making kitchen. I don't know what Rose is wearing. I will not even describe it because I don't know what was going on. Like, did you have to make her look like a slob? It was like a vest. There was a stripe. I mean, I really didn't write it down.
Looking thing,
like a weird
hat,
right?
Like from the 90s.
She did have like the tube socks with stripes on them that I definitely had as a child. In the 80s.
Yeah.
Early 80s.
Yeah,
but
I wasn't sure what was going on with that.
Like,
but
you really have to make her look that bad. Like, she could look.
It was like Freaky Friday. Remember Freaky Friday, the movie?
Yeah.
But kind of reminded me of
like,
that.
Just throw everything on her.
Why don't we throw all the like? I don't even know. You know what I mean? Like, let's throw every way that we can make her just stick out. Like,
but it wasn't even cute. Like, there was nothing fashionable or stylish about it. Like, you can mishmash. You can look alternate. I don't even know what the word is. Like,
I don't even know what that look was supposed to be.
Like, when she went to the recital and wore the fancy dress and then threw on the tuxedo t-shirt over it, which again I didn't love and I wouldn't wear it, but there was still like Carrie was like, I love it. Like, there was,
but it was a statement and it made sense.
Yeah, and she had the Converse.
This was just kind of like everything in the drawers just went on you. I don't know.
I thought that was weird. So Rose is helping with the dough. She's kneading the dough or whatever. Anthony's on the phone with a customer, and I guess the delivery boy wasn't hot enough to her liking. Charlotte, so he's like arguing with her. So Charlotte's wearing a black pencil skirt, like a black with white polka dot blouse.
Loved her
the shoulder, very cute. Yeah. Rose is like, this place is awesome. Yes, and a belt. They're little belts.
Her shoes, were they like a leopard or tortoise? I couldn't.
You know what? I don't think I looked at the shoes.
I couldn't freeze the. Okay. Anyway, they caught my attention with the mixed patterns, and I loved it. So.
I didn't. Anyway, that one I didn't snap a pic of. So she says the place is awesome. He's like, it's a rental. No, don't get too attached. It's a rental, and the biatchy vegans are coming up. And then, Charlotte's like, this started like in your kitchen with one stinky sourdough starter in your kitchen. And look at this now. And he's like, well, when they shut down the gyms, I had to find a different kind of hand job. And, Rose is like, what's a hand job? And, he had to find a different kind of hand job to keep him busy. And then Rose is like, what's a hand job? And of course, Charlotte's like, it's a job you do with your hands. And Anthony says, speaking of stinky, you smell, little girl.
Yeah.
And Charlotte calls him out in the hall, and he thinks it's because he called her stinky, but it's because he called her a little girl. She doesn't feel like a girl. By the way, did you notice in the background, I think were the vegans that were coming in next?
Waiting, yes.
And I wonder if they had a scene, but it was cut.
Yeah.
Because they were like, you could tell, like getting annoyed, and they were staring at them. And then they start to walk, they start to follow them in.
Yeah.
But then we don't see anything. So there must have been a scene that got cut, which I'm fine with.
It's fine.
It's fine. So then, she's asking him about it, and he's like, I don't know. When she was 6, she wanted to be she said she was a dog. She's like, well, yeah. And for a week I put down a water bowl on the floor for her. And he's like, when I was little, he's like, I don't, who knows? He said
he wanted to be Tinkerbell or something.
He wanted to be Tinkerbell, and he says my mom didn't cut holes in my prep school jacket, blazer, or whatever for wings, and she's like, maybe she should have. And he's like, well, then what? I would have grown up to be a fairy. And he's like, don't answer that. Hardy har har. She's just confused how to handle it, and he just says, well, I will be there, for both of you. And he's like, get her some deodorant. Probably Charlotte wasn't on the stinkiness a little bit,
Yeah.
All right, we're back to Miranda and Steve watching another movie, making a Sunday
Netflix special.
Yeah,
wanting ice cream.
Yep. And then she's like, chia seeds or blueberries, and he's like, chia seeds are both BS. They get stuck in my teeth. He's like talks like the old man. I read really briefly, someone was like, why are they making the men in this show be really old? They're only in their 50s. Like, they're like big dyed. Steve, Harry, like, is acting like an old. They're all acting very old. The men are acting very old.
Like they're 60s, ready for the nursing home or something.
I mean, like, I'm not saying 60s are old, but like they're just acting way more older than they are.
Yeah. Like, yes. Like they're headed down to the nursing home for like bingo.
I know. What's going on?
And like bread pudding or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally, especially poor Steve. Like, why are we really milking the whole, like that they're unhappy, but they're together?
I know.
Or not unhappy. I don't want to say that, but like, you just get this sense that they're very comfortable or whatever. And they're like roommates, right? So here they are having their ice cream.
But
and
he's
got
sweet,
their
like that he wants to do this all with her. I know. Yeah.
I know it is, but then he does. He seems like he needs his cane and a crossword puzzle. And, so,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Marty. Sorry.
So Carrie calls about Gogi. I want to say Gogi. Gogi.
I think it's Gogi.
And she pronounced it Gogi. I would not.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? Miranda's like, what? And she's like, he has one single photo in his wallet of this dog. He has a Pinkberry punch card. I've never seen him go to a Pinkberry. What else do I not know? So she's like, I decided the best way to move past. She's all hopped up. Miranda's like, you're wired. And she wants to have a conversation, a grown-up conversation with Natasha, look her in the eye. And so she found out. So she emailed her. And then I guess it got bounced back. She works at, I think she used to work
at company.
She used to work at Nina Minetti, and now she works. Oh, wait a second. I'm sorry. I'm going to mess it up. She used to work at Brunello Cucinelli, and now she works at Nina Minetti. I hope I said it in the right order.
Yeah.
They're Italian. They are very high-end cashmere. I went on, now I think it was the Brunello Cucinelli website. There was like this sparkle, like almost like a firework fountain on it. And my son was next to me. He was like, oh my God. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty cool. Like the website. I was like, am I going to be charged? Like it was like a really fancy website. I was like, oh my God. She emailed her already. Like Miranda's like, maybe you should. And she's like, no, I emailed her and I still haven't gotten anything. And she's like, I emailed her at 1:40. I can tell you right now. And like, she's looking on the computer and nothing. And Miranda's like, well, maybe she's busy. And she's like, she doesn't respond to a grieving wife. She's like, are you not sleeping? She's like, I can't sleep here anymore. She just can't sleep at that apartment. She said, then she's like, oh, she's on Instagram. So she DMs her. And I think, that's when Miranda's like, no, just wait. She's like, nope, I already did. Yeah. And she's like, oh, she just blocked me.
So relatable, right?
So yeah, it happens to me. So Natasha blocked her. And then Miranda's like, she's an effing biatch. Is that when Steve is like, I'm falling asleep? Like Steve wakes up, he fell asleep. Is that
he's like
scene?
Snoring pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we have the three ladies are in a car and they're going to Natasha's office. They're outside of her office.
Why not?
And I think she says she wants to like put an end to the spiraling. And Charlotte's like, there is no, it's Big loved you. You were happy. There's nothing you don't know. And then she says, well, let's say they were in touch. What's your worst fear? And she's like, that he regretted choosing me over her. They had an affair for her. She was getting back at me. Then they see her. And Charlotte says, she's wearing flats. And I thought the same thing. They were ugly flats. Like her feet were like really wide. They were like, I love Birkenstocks, but like they were like that Birkenstock style. She was like dressed kind of up for work. I don't know.
Yeah.
I noticed it too. And then Miranda said something like, that's the most desperate cut down. Oh gosh, I don't know what I wrote here. I've ever heard. Put down. Sorry. Yeah. It says out.
Miranda's more of a flat scale, I think.
Yes.
In reality.
No, well, but still it was
she loves a good flat, I think.
Yeah. But also it was just like, that's all you can like say about her.
Yeah. Like that's whatever. What you came up with.
Yeah. So Carrie gets out of the car and we see the belt that she's wearing that I was talking to Diana about today. So I found it and I was like, I know that belt. I know that belt. I know that belt. So she's wearing this black belt with studs on it. And the dress is like a pinkish, almost purpley. I don't even know. Like, oh God, I always call it. It's a button down, whatever. Right. Well, I found
but it flares out.
See
it's almost got that 50s vibe to it.
Can you see the picture?
Yeah.
That's from the movie. She wore it in the movie, the first movie. Yeah. And it was in the first, I guess it was in the first scene. Not that I remember this. She's wearing it over a green, like floral dress. And then that has like a little overcoat over it that matches. And again, from Pop Sugar, can I just tell you, the person who wrote this article said, as soon as I saw her get out of the car, she said she grabbed the remote, she hit pause, and she's like, was she wearing the belt? The same belt from the 2008 Sex and the City movie that cinched her green floral dress underneath the contrasting short-sleeved overcoat? Of course she was. And Oh, she also had an Eiffel Tower bag in the movie, which I didn't remember till I saw the picture. I was like, oh my God. She also, I think, wears it one more time in the movie. But anyway, I just thought that was cool to know. I'm sure there's a lot more things that I'm not remembering, but all right. So she goes in to see her, and she goes into like the waiting room. Then we're at the coffee shop, and I love Miranda's orange and plaid maxi dress, which I also did look up. She was wearing a belt that didn't go with
another belt,
because if you buy it, there is a matching belt, by the way, just to let you know, tie belt. But she was wearing a brown like leather belt, and this dress is from L'Agence, like agents, basically L'Agence. It's called the Cameron, Cameron, long shirt dress, and you can buy it at Revolve.
At Revolve.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Buy it off there. It's sold out.
Of course.
I don't even know how much it is because when I clicked on it, like to go on a wait list.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard of Revolve. I don't know.
Yeah. Revolve is great.
Yeah.
There's some good finds on there.
FYI. Okay.
All price points and whatnot.
Yeah. I don't know how much this was. So Charlotte needs a charger and asks, I think first Miranda's like, I'm going to go get a muffin. Do you want anything? She's like, no, but I need a charger.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, just, look at my bag. So Charlotte goes in her bag and she goes in the front pocket and finds 3 tiny Tito's bottles.
Yes. Little tiny party up in there.
Yep.
And there you have it, folks.
Yep. So then she quickly zips it back up and goes into the main compartment and finds the charger as Miranda's coming back. And she's like, oh, is it, Charlotte starts asking Miranda, is it stressful being a student again? And she's like, no, now that I know all the pronouns, no. And she's like, how are you and Steve? And so then she says, the same. No sex for years. I don't think either one of us even thinks about it. The only thing we're passionate about is our dessert ritual. Are we a couple or are we just roommates with ice cream and a kid?
Yeah.
And if we didn't have, I guess, Brady, she's like, really, what would we talk about? Chia seeds? And Charlotte's like, just making a face. Basically, long story short, Carrie gets told that Natasha's not there. She's in Rome.
Yeah.
And we know she's not in Rome.
She's not. Never. But, and did part of you go, why doesn't she say like, no, I saw her walk into the building?
I would have.
Because
you're there.
Who wouldn't say
Girl,
that?
you're there. You've emailed her.
You're there and you saw her.
You've DM'd her. You got blocked from DM. So then you're showing up at her workplace and you know for a fact she's lying. I would have been like, I know that's not true. But I understand. Like she couldn't barge in and have security called. But I would have been like, no, girl.
Yeah,
whatever. No. Just to no.
False.
Yeah. So
I didn't like that she was like accepted it and left. I don't know.
No, I didn't like it either.
Whatever.
And I didn't like this next part either. So Carrie's so upset. She comes into the coffee shop. She's like, she's in Rome. And then they're like outside on the street and she's talking and they're right outside the building. She's like, she's at the 1, 2, 3rd floor. She sees her in the window and Natasha sees them. Natasha's on the phone and she's like, oh, and Carrie's like, oh, starts to hide and she's all embarrassed.
I'm like,
why? I would not have been embarrassed. I would have put my hands on my hips and
I would have waved.
What? Yeah, I would have been like, what?
I would have waved.
You know what? Oh, yeah. No, I would have never been embarrassed.
Yeah, they're running away. Their heels are, they're about to like either break an ankle or have like bleeding blisters.
The cobblestone? Yeah. I was very mad about that one. Come on, girl. Come on. You're the one. You lost your husband. Her name is in your husband's will. Like, no. And yes, that whole thing happened, but no. That
don't
annoyed
act
me.
embarrassed like you're
Grow some balls, girl.
Head on. Come
on. So they run and everyone's like, again, they're old and they're like, like decrepit. Miranda's like, that's why I don't run anymore. And of course, whatever. So Carrie says and Miranda laughs and she's like, it's so bad, it's almost funny, which like it was. It's kind of dopey, but Carrie is so upset. She's so humiliated. And Charlotte says she should be because she was caught in the truth. And she's like, and she caught me in she said she was caught in a lie. And Carrie says, well, she caught me in the truth. I was like, okay, girl, come on. All right. So now it's the next morning. Charlotte's brushing her teeth, which she really did seem like she was brushing her teeth. I just wanted to say. It wasn't for very long, but yeah.
You know how I feel about that.
We've talked about that. in shows. Okay. Carrie calls her. She's at Central Park. She's been walking, apparently just walking and walking and walking. And she's like, are you aware that there are thousands of people jogging at 6 a.m. in New York and in Central Park, and that everybody has a dog? And, Charlotte's like, yeah. She's like, I couldn't sleep. Then Harry starts to pee.
The longest pee ever.
The longest pee in the world. And, Charlotte's like, Harry, she's like, I think I have basically the right of way. Like, this is the bathroom. Yeah. So then they're talking about the Netflix taping, I guess. I think that's that night. I did take a snapshot of her outfit. Someone thought the dress, she was wearing like a sundress over a long sleeve button shirt. And I did see someone comment and think it was from Forever 21. And then I saw someone say no, but I didn't look it up. It was a secondhand, like from a thrift store or something. It did look like it was back from like maybe the early 2000s or 90s. Like I'm kind of mixing up my things, but like the pattern on it and stuff. But it looked cute. Her shoes were ridiculous. So then she meets Miranda.
But they're her sneakers, right?
Yeah, that's like definitely not realistic there at all. Even if you're 25 walking around the city with the heels on, you would break your ankles.
No, everybody that lives in the city wears flats, and they bring not everybody, but from all the time that I was there, everybody would be wearing their flats, and either you would see their heels for work or they'd be holding them.
Or they're
the people commuting.
The people who are walking, like basically.
Or that
far. I mean, if you're not, then you get on the subway with your heels and you get off, or you take the cab, or you take the black car because you're that.
And if you were, really walking that many blocks,
you're not wearing heels.
You're not wearing heels at all. They're not sneakers. No. I don't know how they.
No,
but that's in true Carrie fashion.
Of course.
It hurt my feet.
It did. It hurt mine too. My ankles were hurting when I was watching. So then she's waiting on the steps for Miranda. Miranda has cute ballet flats on, actually.
Yeah, those were cute.
I took a picture of that. I also like her backpack that's full of books and alcohol. I really like the brown. I mean, I'm into the backpacks.
Yeah,
as you know.
I know. I know you love a good backpack.
I
got it.
I use them. Good backpack, belt bag, chest bag.
Nice.
Things that just hang off.
Trio.
Me. Yeah. So Miranda says something like, you're the only 55-year-old on the university steps. And then, Carrie's like, now there are two. And then she's like, you walked in the heels? She's like, come on, they're my sneakers, like you just said. Okay. She's like, she can't stop walking, but it's not help. It's like the only thing that helps, but it's not helping. She's really mad at Big. And I did like this part because you understand her feeling and why she's feeling this way. She says she almost forgot how she felt all those years ago, being nervous, insecure, desperate, like what they had wasn't enough. She wasn't enough. After all those good years, this is what she's left with. And he ruined their happy, sad ending. And I just thought that was a good monologue there. And she says to Miranda, thank you for not arguing with me, like just listening. So Miranda's like, me argue? Nah. So then Carrie, we see Charlotte. I did take a little snapshot. I think did she have yellow shoes on? Because I didn't take the shoes, but she had a belt. She had a turquoise, I would call it turquoise, but skirt with white polka dots, a yellow belt, and then that I call it like a gypsy poofy top. I call it gypsy, I don't know. Just scoop neck.
What I would definitely put on if I was walking my dog.
Walking a dog and picking up her poop. And I think it was a Burberry, at least.
She had a Burberry.
Yeah. It was a for the poop bags. She had the little holder. It was Burberry. And so Carrie is at 82nd in Amsterdam. And she, so what did I say? Oh, I think she says she's a mess or whatever. I don't know what I wrote here, but that's it. She says she's a mess. And that's when Charlotte says, no, you're not. And she's like, let me just say I'm a mess,
Right. She's the one who always argues or tries to
fix
make it better.
Yeah. And she's like, I'll get there myself. So she's like, all right. So she's like, I'm going to go into this coffee shop to pee. I'm going to get a coffee and then I'll have to pee again in Chelsea or something like that.
Yeah.
So she opens the door to the bathroom and who's in there peeing? Natasha.
Of course Natasha's there.
It was totally embarrassing. She's
great
like,
scene,
someone's in here. Yeah. But you know, Natasha should feel better that it was Carrie who saw her peeing as opposed to some complete stranger.
Random. But I was also like, Natasha, really, you're holding your drink. Ugh. People that bring drinks into a bathroom scare me.
It's gross.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she should have went before she got the drink.
Bacteria flying around and things.
I know. It's
I'm
really
just
gross.
Not really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I would rather throw my drink out than bring it in and then drink it.
Yeah,
I'd waste the whole thing and get another one.
And then get another one, or something.
Correct. Or order your drink, go to the bathroom, come out and pick up your drink.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you have to wait for it.
Tips from Diana.
Yeah, just saying. Please don't bring your drinks into the lavatory. I just said lavatory.
Lavatory. Yes, to the lavatory. Okay. So when she opens the door, Carrie opens the door, obviously sees her, gets all like, and she
burns her hand off, basically.
Coffee. Yeah, she spills the coffee on her hand. So she sits down, and then she's sitting down, and Natasha's like, basically thinks she hunted her down at the coffee shop.
Yeah,
and she's like
you're stalking.
This isn't even your neighborhood. She's like, yeah, I know where you live, to Natasha. And she's like, what the F do you want from me? Like, gets loud. I'm done thinking about you. You've gotten more minutes than you deserved. Then she sees the burn. Mm-hmm. Like, I think Carrie, because Carrie asks her to like sit with her, and she's basically like, no, I'm done. And I don't know, I was annoyed. And she notices the burn. She's like, it really looks bad. So she pulls out this Ziploc bag from Natasha from her bag, and there's little cookies in it. She's like, my son has low blood sugar. I was like, what does that mean? Well, whatever. I won't go into that. And
why else would you have a Ziploc bag?
Right.
Handy, right?
Right. Well, she has to talk about her son, So
correct.
I'm just talking about the low blood sugar parts. Like, does he have diabetes? Why is he having low blood sugars? Because my husband has diabetes.
How about you just have a kid and you have snacks in your bag, like all of us?
I don't know. Yeah.
With kids.
Yeah. So she sips the rest of her drink. She puts the ice from the bathroom, her potty drink. She puts the ice in the Ziploc and gives it to her, and they start talking. We find out she has 2 sons. They go to Trinity, that she was dropping them off at school. And she's like, but you probably know that. She's like, no, I didn't know that. And she basically says she doesn't know why Big gave her the money. She's donating it. She hasn't spoken to him since the divorce. Mm-hmm. And then Natasha, I guess, realizes that Carrie just found all this out at the will reading. So I guess she feels bad. And she's like, well, John's always been a puzzle. And she never understood why he married her if he always was in love with Carrie.
Right.
And says she's sorry for her loss. And Carrie's like, I think the money was his way of saying sorry. He's not good with words, but he's like a finance guy. And Carrie says she's sorry as well. Natasha appreciates it. We're okay. It's in the past, but we probably shouldn't follow each other on Instagram.
Yeah, right. But at least they had some closure.
No, this
at least
part
for
I
Carrie.
really like. Yes, finally. Like when she said, I don't know why he married me. He was always in love with you. That just made her, she has her happy sad ending, right? Mm-hmm. Gave the closure. Carrie starts to tear up and she smiles and she sighs, like finally feeling a little better.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I have to clear my throat. When I laugh a lot, I get phlegmy. We're at the Netflix taping.
Yes.
All right. I'm not going to obviously do Che's routine word for word.
Che was killing it.
Che was killing it.
I laughed.
Oh, I laughed. Yeah. Really good. Che says that they dated a lot, dated men, women, men who actually know how to please women. He was nice. I guess that was one person. They say they dated pretty much everyone here. And Che's like, cheer if you effed me. Mm-hmm. Or no, sorry. Cheer if I effed you. Cheer if you effed me. Cheer if you want me to F you. And Miranda's like, what?
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Charlotte, of course, has to be like, I thought when you said VIP seats that we would have seats. I was like,
I know.
Okay, why? I know it's Charlotte, but no, come on. Stop. Che goes into, most people, just talk about gender, individuality, don't know how to process it. And then she goes into every time we are represented in mainstream media, we're either from some other galaxy or super skinny model or an ethereal magical elf with a nose ring. And When we are earthbound, it's in a murder scene. Never at a birthday party. There's always one of us, and we're really sad.
It was a great
I'm
scene.
not always sad. Yeah. Che says, I'm not always sad. I laugh all the effing time. So then, of course, Charlotte's like, because someone's smoking pot next to them. Now, like, again, how am I going to explain
this? Comedy
this?
show. I don't know.
Oh, what did she say? She says,
but, at the same time, like during the scene, right, we see Charlotte kind of like take it in.
Wait.
Oh, I know. Okay, sorry.
Okay. I just wanted to go into that. Okay. The people smoking pot next to her. How is she going to explain it to her kids? Well, why are the kids smelling pot on her? Whatever.
I don't
know. And then Carrie's like, how am I going to explain it to my doorman? I'm like, what? Like,
okay. And then we learn her doorman is a smoker, by the way. But
anyway. Yeah, I saw it. I don't think it was pot, but whatever.
No, it was a cigarette, but still, what does he care?
I know. It's just, it was, that whole part was really corny. I think corny.
Yeah.
So then basically Che goes into like that I think the world can handle this, it, and Che says that their own family did, that Che came out and they basically were like, okay, get out of the way. Like, you're in the way of the game. Or, Che told her Che told their family that they were, where am I here? Sorry. I think, queer. I am queer and non-binary. And that's when Charlotte starts to tear up and everybody's snapping, and that was like a nice scene. Yeah. And Che is bisexual. So then Che says that they lucked out, that their family loves them. They're still confused, but they love Che. So Che says it's better to be confused than to be sure. And then Miranda starts to get into this and tears up and says, all those people out there who are, so effing sure, who write for TV, newspaper, magazines, run the news shows, want us to be alone and sad, suck my DICK.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to go into like when Miranda's really into what Che is saying, because Che is saying like, you don't like something, change it. Like change your job, change your gender, change your shirt. And then she goes to the guy in the crowd. No, change your shirt because Banana Republic stopped selling that 5 years ago or something. It's kind of funny. So then, and Miranda's very into that part. So at the end, when Che says, suck my DICK, and then says, actually, I don't have one, but if I did, I'd have had this special 5 years ago. I thought that was kind of funny. Miranda's like, wow.
Right.
Drooling.
Mind blown.
Yes. Carrie says, I'm just going to say, I'm going to go backstage and say a quick goodbye, and then we can go. Miranda says, like, well, we have VIP tickets to go to the after party. By the way, they're at Webster Hall, which I thought was pretty cool. I've been there. Webster Hall's been around. I think it was around, and they did Club MTV there. That's where they filmed Club MTV.
Do you remember that?
And then they closed, I believe, for a little while. And then when I lived in the city, we went to it. I thought I read that it reopened in 2008. I started living in the city in 2000. Wait a minute. That's not right. No. What am I talking about? I lived in the city in the late 90s into early 2000s. So it must have closed again and then reopened in 2008. Sorry. Okay. We are outside of Webster Hall. Charlotte calls Rose to say she loves her. And that's all. She just wanted to call and say she loved her. And Miranda's like, don't worry. Oh, they're both getting in their own car. And Miranda's like, don't worry. I'll get a car. I'll be fine. And she doesn't leave.
But we kind of knew that. Like, because they always share a car. They're always in a Cadillac Escalade, right?
Why didn't she just say, they're always in a Cadillac Escalade. Why didn't she just say, I want to go to the party and I'm going to the party? She was probably because she's got a little crush
because it's
going.
Sneaky or whatever. She's got a crush. On Che, obviously. We are picking up on that very quickly. But it was interesting because they always share a car. And, my car's coming. Like, no, you guys always ride in the same car. So it was just like one of those.
But wait, Miranda lives in Brooklyn still. And they live like uptown.
True. No, you're right. You're right.
It's
but
true.
Don't we always see them in a shared
usually
vehicle?
Together? Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway. But okay. Thank you for that because it does make sense.
I just thought of that. So Miranda goes to the VIP party, and her jumpsuit is awesome. That also had a black
there was
belt,
a belt
on it, didn't it? What? What'd you say?
There was a belt.
There was a belt. And that belt doesn't come with it because I have a picture of it here. And you can buy it from Saks Fifth Avenue, although it's probably sold out. Probably. It's called Likely Dash Halter Jumpsuit. Likely. Oh, maybe they don't know if it's that or not. No, I don't know what that means. Dash. We can't afford it, so it's beautiful.
How much is the jumpsuit?
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
So it doesn't even have a price tag.
It might have been sold out, or maybe I just was like, I don't even want to know. I probably didn't even. I think it was sold
It's $4,000.
Yeah, or whatever. She goes to the party. She sees Che, and Che is like, "Oh, I thought you were all leaving." And Miranda's like, "I had your voice in my head saying change, and you're so amazing up there. You're like a comedy prophet, just
high,
high off of Che,
the comedy."
Yes, and so Che, Che's like, stop talking, just breathe. She's like, I want to say one more thing. And Che's like, I think you need some weed. And she's like, no, I couldn't do that because I'm not good at it. And I stay away from things I'm not good at. And so then she wants to shotgun her. And she's like, is that when? And she's like, yeah. Now this scene was awesome. They almost did a Matrix.
Yes.
Slow. They were very close and it was almost slow motion. And the song was awesome. And I had to look it up. It's called Hold On by Alabama Shakes. Just to let you know. I like Alabama Shakes. I do know who they are.
Yes.
Okay. What the heck did I put
as soon as this scene happened, though, I was like,
oh, yeah. Hello. Yeah. Okay.
Something's brewing.
All right. Oh, they're in the car. My heading on here says can. I'm like, okay. They're in the car. Okay. Not a can. Charlotte asked how it was for Carrie, and she said, oh, Carrie has the dress again over her outfit, which I really thought was cool to wear it again.
And I was like, oh,
she likes it as much as we do.
I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I would wear it multiple days as well.
I would too. So, and Carrie says, perfect, loud, giant pause button on current events. And Charlotte's like, I really want to talk to you about something. And Carrie's like, didn't know if she wanted to hear anything at that point.
Exactly.
And says she thinks Miranda has a drinking problem. Carrie says, there's a lot to drink about. And Charlotte tells her about the tiny Tito's in her purse. And she says, well, maybe they're having a tiny party in her backpack. She's like, stop noticing things. So it wasn't awesome that Carrie poo-pooed it. I don't think it was just the right time for Charlotte to.
I was just going to say, I don't think Carrie was ready to really handle anybody else's problems or anything.
She doesn't want to hear something bad about her friend.
No.
And I don't blame Charlotte totally, but yeah. So Carrie gets dropped off and she looks up at the building and she's like, turns, and the Joe, the doorman, I think it's Joe, is like, are you going up, Miss Preston? And she says, no, I think I'm going to walk. So she does so she has the purse.
Yeah.
So bad. It's not Balenciaga, is it? The purse brand. I knew this. I looked it up and I didn't write it down. Anyway, it was the purse when she got her shoes stolen.
Oh, the purple purse.
Yes, the purple sparkly purse was because I think you sent me the photo of that, right?
It was,
or Remy did. Your friend Remy sent the post.
Yeah, we were talking about that purse coming up, that purple purse, because it's the one where, she gets mugged. He steals her shoes. Yes.
But he obviously doesn't take her bag. I thought he did take her bag. That's what's so weird. I thought he did take her bag, but then it's the bag.
Oh, dear. See, now we're going to have to rewatch the whole series.
Whole entire series. Okay. So she walks into her old apartment and it ends with, and just like that, I walked myself home.
And here we are.
She's in her old apartment.
The old apartment. We shall see.
Yeah. We shall see.
Episode 4.
Wait. I feel that this episode took a turn. I had texted Diana that when I first saw it, and I thought, this feels more like Sex in the City to me. There was this, maybe because it wasn't about the death as much, and it was, I don't know, it felt like it flowed better.
The first episode was like, eh.
Yeah.
Like we talked about that.
Very disappointed. Yeah. I was like, oh
you
gosh.
know, we weren't really super excited about the death of a main character in the first episode. And it just, it also, everything, it was like too much going on at once.
Mm-hmm. And I just felt like their chemistry was off in that first episode.
Yeah. But it's definitely gelling now.
Yes.
It makes sense. And so.
Yes, it's, I'm really liking it. So I'm really excited because I wanted to really like it. And I am.
I do. Definitely really liking it. Exactly.
So I'm excited for.
I'm pumped.
4 and 5. I've started 4, but I'm not up to 5. And Diana is. And so we're going to try to catch up. Try to catch up. All right.
All right. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. And if you want, you can email us at nobody does, but it's okay.
We had like an email or two, or was it an Instagram DM?
Oh, I had some Instagram DMs. Yes. About
and Instagram is a great way to hit us up.
Although we don't have the Instagram. Well, I can't access the Instagram account anymore.
Yeah,
even though it tells me I have a new message.
Story.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
You know what?
I reported it and I yelled
How
at them.
that? Yeah. Please.
HomeBodiesOnly. HomeBodiesOnly@gmail.com. We are also, are you two on some fan Facebook pages that there's, and just like that fan Facebook pages. Maybe we could make a Facebook page. I don't know if we'd have any followers, but talk to people. I don't know. Okay. All right. Until next time.
Good night.
Good night.